All right, we're here with part 8 of Vandal Hearts. Connor has just asked me how his intro hour long. It was 1 hour long.
Okay, that's a
Hurried
shocker.
and rushed, I would say. Now, my recollection, because Connor's been sitting here waiting for me. I thought there might have been some shenaniganery at the end of the last episode, and my recollection was correct because I went back and looked. Because we stopped here. I saved a save state as the last thing I did on the VOD.
Hmm.
What are we doing here?
Probably getting the items because you have to
Oh,
get the items before, or sorry, you have to hit the switch before the game is over, or the map is over.
I see that now, yes.
And so
Why can't I move him?
there's a gold axe in the 3-dot tile near the northeast corner. You might have already gotten it, but I guess it's worth it to just check.
Yep.
Since you're moving the guys anyway.
Has everyone here already acted, or am I just pressing the wrong things?
Yeah, I think they've already acted. I think you got to end turn.
Turn over then. Connor, how have you been?
Good. Good. Keeping on been enjoying doing the streaming. That's been fun.
Been streaming a lot.
Yeah, relative to previously, which was nothing. Yeah, that's a lot by comparison for sure.
I try to keep you up on another monitor, but I don't actually want to see what you're working on because, I want to read the game. So it's a real catch-22, especially when like half your screen is just boobs, and I'm like, damn, I want to see what's going on, but also I don't want to ruin it for me.
Half the screen.
Why would Connor do this to me personally? He's got to relax.
I forced my presence on you through Twitch.
Of course.
It really isn't in position. It's like a house, a house guest that invites themselves into your house.
All right, you all heard it here. Connor doesn't want me around.
No, I'm the house guest. I'm the house.
I'm imposing. I'm imposing on his stream.
Yeah, well, I mean, I appreciate that you put me up on any monitor, second monitor, third monitor,
Third monitor, but
monitor.
the third monitor is the big monitor.
Okay.
Just so you're aware, it's the biggest monitor I have.
Sweet.
It's also the one that when I'm streaming, that's the one I put all the cameras on.
Mm-hmm.
So that when I look over to my left slightly, because you may notice that I'm always looking to my left when I'm streaming and never to my right. It's because all the monitors are all the camera monitors to the left. So I'm trying to look at people while I'm talking to them, even though the correct way would be to look at the camera. I can't see people's reaction to what I'm saying if I'm looking at the camera. So it drives me insane, but I am constantly looking to the left.
Right. Correct.
Is there another treasure to pick up?
There should be.
I feel like you said there was a second one.
Other chest already. That's
Yeah.
what I guess.
I meant like one hidden in the ground. I thought.
Nope.
Last time
Nothing else. Just the golden axe.
Okay, well. Making my way.
Yeah, what you need is one of those teleprompters where you can have the camera and the monitor in one go, I guess.
But then people might accuse me of being old and senile, unable to do my lines.
Well, you see, it's your performance that really adds the flavor. The lines are, they're important, obviously, but the performance is what
I agree.
life.
People often tell me that when they're talking to me, I seem like a master debater. I appreciate that weak laugh, Connor. I really appreciate it. It was a bad, horribly reused joke, and I appreciate you gave me something for it.
Sure,
It didn't deserve it.
Nothing if not at least something of a soundboard where I can just be the thing that you bounce off of.
ConorHughes reacts.
Oh man, I feel like did those kinds of videos go away or like?
No, they're still
popular?
they're probably the biggest. I mean, that kind of shit is really popular among Gen Z and like whatever the new generation's called, Alpha.
Alpha, yeah.
Like really young kids love watching React content.
React content. Yeah.
My
Yeah,
theory
for sure.
is that it lets you see the best parts of that media that they're watching, right? Like they're not going to clip like, all right, well, here's, you know, 5 guys standing around in a field discussing how they're going to heist the casino. No, they do the big parts of Ocean 11 breakdown, while also you get to hear your favorite, you know, whatever caster, whoever is doing it. So it's like a combination of you get the best scenes from whatever media you're watching, plus it's somebody you already find tolerable. I think that's why it's popular, but I haven't read any psychological journals or analyses. I also think it's not good content.
I mean, I guess I'd probably posit something like that. You know, React content is sort of like eating a digested meal again, like in the sense that like, you know, you aren't like if you're watching someone like react to a certain piece of content, you know, you don't have to do it yourself. So you don't have to like problem solve the content, whatever it is, if it's a book or if it's, you know, anything. You know, you're sort of getting it already digested, and that's sort of valuable.
I have a lot of Twitch streamers I like, but when they do the streams where they just watch someone else's content, I can't watch it. It's just disgusting to me. It just feels like, I mean, for one thing, you yourself are earning money and views off of their work. Just to be really clear, like you are using them as a medium to advance yourself.
Yeah, there's also you may have seen this stream sniping where you are watching another person's stream in secret and then like dogging them.
Yeah. Yes, Connor, I know what stream sniping is.
Okay.
I've played Among Us or any game with my community. But you may notice I no longer play games with my community at all.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I mean, okay, yeah, sure.
What do you mean, okay, sure? I don't.
Well, I was thinking about saying like, well, you play like certain things like Blood Bowl or whatever, but like I realize that's not.
That's also not my community. That's Grimdark James. That's right.
Sure.
That's right, Connor. That's right. I'm not always correct about things that come out of my word face, but that time I was. I get by on a technicality.
Sure.
All right, we ready to do some texty talky stuff?
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, before we do that, I want to know what you're working on. You know, we gotta
same
keep.
thing I was working on Friday, which is some inks of the game 3.
Yeah, of course. So are you mixing like a peacock blood with ash, or are you thinking maybe you're going to go with like a sort of Carolina blue dye when you're making your inks? No?
Yeah,
you didn't like that one? No?
Longer,
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, I was saying you didn't like that. I was implying that you were making your actual ink.
Yeah, no longer. My buddy, he used to make his own paint mediums with gesso, specifically with rabbit skin glue. He used to be, you know, really industrious about that. But it was a lot of work for sure. I've never made my own inks. Buy them in the jar.
Interesting. I suppose you probably don't urinate on your own canvases either.
No, that one I leave to other people, other experts, urination experts.
So you let other people urinate on your canvases.
Not.
We have it confirmed here, ladies and gentlemen.
You got me. That was good.
This is like one of those things that cops do to you, where they ask you questions that have multiple answers, none of them favorable to you, and then go, oh, so you said no, so you meant this thing then.
Right. I would make the classic reference, but I don't want to.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I don't want to mess up your stream.
You called Master Dolph? A traitor was involved in the prison attack. Yes, I heard. Just before the attack, There was a riot inside. Attacked from the inside and the outside. The prison couldn't stand. One more thing. The rioters got weapons and the keys from someone. You wouldn't know anything about it, would you? No, not a thing. You mustn't tell lies, little girl.
Harry Potter reference.
This game came out before Harry Potter, I'm fairly certain. Zeno Calamani, you villain. I was watching when you brought Clint the keys. Alright, now her go-to should be, it was you who did it then. You're trying to put the blame on, and that would be the typical evil villain thing, would be to turn it around here. But she's instantly falling for the accusation. You had me followed? I'm sorry, Kira. I can't let you do that. I thought I could trust you, but you betrayed me. Take her away. Oh, it even has her in,
Deckles.
Oh, is that what they're called? Her character seemed like she had a really big butt for some reason. The game has really odd proportion sizes. Like,
right. The
size of this guy's shoulders compared to his head is so weird.
Yeah, most of the characters have very large shoulders and large heads and small bodies, small waists.
World of Warcraft. Learned well from them. You haven't forgotten your promise, I hope. I'm manipulating hell in order to rekindle the flames of judgment, and you are sworn to aid me in that pursuit. I have not forgotten for a moment. Good, I'll hold you to it. It has come time to dispose of this annoying pest, Ash Lambert. Sure, we had him in prison, in our clutch. Oh no, sorry, he wasn't in prison. It was Clint and the gang. I was gonna say, if they had Ash in prison, they should definitely just fucking killed him. I want you to personally see that it is taken care of. As you wish. I feel like that was my best gravelly 90s voice acting.
That was good.
As you wish. Right out of Sailor Moon right there. Level 19. So close.
Yeah. I'm checking the guide here. We got the Great Maasai Forest. Right now we were at Kano City, I think.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go... Oh. I was gonna say, like, check bars and stuff.
Oh, there's no bars? Okay.
It says the city is blockaded by the Crimson Guard.
Oh. Yeah, that makes sense. We just fleed the city.
Oh, man. Everybody's working for the weekend. The port of Karachi is just past this forest. Do we really have to go to Karachi? Maybe we should be helping on the southern front. We've already discussed our role with Clive. What is your problem, Lily Diego? I don't know what you're talking about. I sense an evil presence. Hello. So you are the rebels. You have been quite a nuisance to us. Today, you must die. Who is that guy? Zeno Calamani, I've been expecting you. Master Zohar. Huh?
Oh, wow.
You are searching for the magic stone. Don't you know that its power would consume what is left of your soul? You never change. Honest and good. And inflexible as a blind goat. Silence. You're nothing but a servant of hell. And not hell spetes with only one L. Hell with 2 L's, which is much worse. I did not return to this world to allow you to destroy it. You no longer have the power to stop me. I summon forth the darkness from this ancient forest. Dark forest, I summon thee. Shwa! Whoa, 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 ominous noises. What are these creatures? I couldn't stand to see my old mentor eaten, so I will bid thee farewell. Zeno!
Go see it done.
Wait! Yeah, I mean, this is classic villain loser behavior. You know. Zohar, who is that guy? No time for explanations now. And then we're gonna defeat them in like 10 seconds with massive AoE spells and then be like, okay, now I can talk about it. But I won't. Listen, I'm awake today. I got plenty of sleep. I woke up early. I drank a bunch of water. I ate some fruit for breakfast. I feel like I'm ready to do this, Connor. I feel like I'm not gonna crash right around 11 a.m. like normal. All right, what is the Connor? What does the scouters say about their power level?
All right. A small stopgap battle until Karachi. Zeno summons a bunch of freakish-looking baddies for a skirmish. Whites are typical close-range fighters, but more plentiful bugaboos are owners of a huge long-range attack. Luckily, one hit from any strong attacker should do them in. Use the scenery trees in order to obscure the range. Overall, 2 attacks should kill each enemy. Their attacks aren't that damaging unless they hit someone like a Hawk Knight, in the Bugaboo's case. If you plan to get the buried treasure, splitting into 2 groups and spreading out over the 2 bridges would be the best. Just make sure to send a clerical unit along with each during the ascent. The enemy's long-range attacks can play right into the geological advantage. So the King's Foil is in the northeast riverside crater, and the Aura Gem, south middle fossil print. There's a lot of guys. The Bugaboos. You're looking for the
I think I found him.
You got him? Alright.
My questions had to do with these guys.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't really give too much tactical advice, but, you know, I'll leave that to the mastermind over here.
Tactical advice. Awesome. I may just form a blockade. Yeah, I honestly don't know that moving at all is a good idea. I may just let them come to me for a little bit.
The best move is no move at all.
Oh. I didn't see that guy down there. Get him, Darius. Counterattack. Nope, no counterattack, huh?
He's probably not in range.
Get him, Darius. Counterattack. Alright, so not moving at all was actually a bad plan.
Well, you live and learn. Oh, blocked.
Piece my blade.
Yeah.
Are they really bullying the Hawk Knight, huh?
Yeah, well, he takes all the damage from that stuff, so makes sense.
Such a weird enemy to just like belch projectiles at you. Kind of unquieting, discomforting.
They are meant to be zombie types.
I've been listening to this podcast, Dungeons and Daddies, and they completely fucked their campaign up by drawing from the deck of many things. And I thought about you and how you drew the card that I believe it was you that got trapped in the on the tabletop game inside of a rock, or druid's staff, an evil druid staff, at the very beginning of the game.
But it wasn't like, I mean, I remember we solved that relatively short order, didn't we?
Yeah, within like an episode or two.
Yeah.
But it's just more proof. The deck of many things is always a bad idea. Is the correct answer.
But not as bad as, like, what was it? Telling the police that we had an AI on.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, accidentally, by the way. I mean, I didn't intend to say that, but I think it was somehow implied. I forget.
You said it outrightly. There's no implication involved.
I'll take your word for it. I'm not sure.
I have video evidence.
Invite people to go back and watch the episode and see if what I said.
Here's how you know, because Bearded still talks about it.
Yeah.
I'm not really keen on shooting uphill like this, but... Right. That wasn't a bad hit. Yeah, ultra healing. Get him, Darius. Perfect.
Levels for the level god.
And we gotta work on this Dolan guy. All these pre-promotes are really outperforming this loser.
Wow, what level is Dolan?
Level where he dies a lot and it's useless. Oh, Darius may actually go down. I thought I had him in a prime position, but I forgot that these guys can maneuver like that. He's in a lot of trouble too. You creeps, I won't forget this. You think you could attack the main character? Forget about it. Here come those side shots. Brutal. This could be the end for Amon. Nope. Said they shot him in the back. They shot Clint in the back. Okay. I think I don't actually have to move that far. Question is, do I want to charge Ash forward across this bridge? Or do I want to hold here? I don't want to get...
Guys in the back advancing, or are they just staying still?
I don't know. I don't think that they are. So I do want to bait them forward into Zohar's range because he's super slow. The Lenny Smash! Can you push this thing from there?
Nice.
Hilarious.
Damn, isn't so hot. You're gonna heal him up.
Yeah, I'm gonna heal him up. Why I waited to move her.
Ah, okay. And
Connor, you dare second guess me? Me, who's never lost a single battle?
That is true. It is quite
According to this canon, right, through the game playing straight through, I have never lost a single battle. Because the ones I did lose never happened.
never happened.
Sorry, you were saying.
No, I was saying at Charlie's recommendation, I started watching a TV show called Mythic Quest. And it definitely starts out kind of rough, but it's getting better.
Mythic Quest.
It's on Apple TV. It's basically about it's good. It's like got some of the people from
Doesn't it have
Philadelphia and
Ashley Birch?
It's got the main guy from, as far as I know, I never watched Always Sunny, but I think it's the main guy. And it's got a woman from Better Call Saul. And some other folks. Oh, and the guy, one of the guys from Community.
fictional video game studio that produces an MMORPG called Mythic Quest. Okay. Yeah, it has Danny Pudi, who's Abed from Community. Yeah, alright. I got 3 months free of Apple TV. I have about 2 months left of that, so maybe I'll check it out once I'm done with Dungeons and Daddies Season 1, which is currently taking up all my blitz time, where I blitz through a series.
I would say you could have it on in the background at first, and then maybe if it gets better. I'm only like 5 episodes in or so, and it got better, but definitely the early episodes are, I guess, mid, maybe. A little mid.
Listen, this is how you can tell that Connor is a dad, because he uses youth slang like mid. That's streets ahead right there.
My kids are definitely using all the slang at 5 and 2.
I mean, at 5, the kid is probably saying bet a lot.
Saying what a lot?
Bet. So you're like,
Bet.
go to bed, and the kid's like, bet.
I don't know. What is that? I don't know that one.
Don't worry, you'll learn eventually. I'm finna crying right now.
Hey, if you say so.
And he should be okay. He'll take it one hit. Down there. Phase shift. Did you see my Crusader Kings 3 informative video yet, ConorHughes?
I did not. I'm gonna have it up on the queue soon, or I have it on the queue. I'm gonna watch it soon.
I understand.
At this point, I'd say you might be, you're probably a better player of it than I am. I'm not gonna say I was ever very good at it, so I'm looking forward to it.
I managed to conquer all of Europe and North Africa by the year 1200. I'm also the Pope.
I'm also the Pope.
Well, it's very important being the Pope. The Pope is how you make money.
Yeah.
I hadn't realized how important indulgences were. But having eliminated the Catholic Pope and replaced him with the Protestant Pope, I now basically print infinite money. It also has made the game unplayable.
Make a quote-unquote Protestant Pope? I mean, isn't that kind of a contradiction?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
So you can reform a religion, and I called my reform religion Protestant. And it still allows for indulgences, which means it's not really a Protestant religion.
Right.
That's pretty much the primary thing that they wanted to stop. But it does allow for female inheritance, gender equality, witchcraft is allowed, and sexual deviancy is no longer a crime. It is instead simply looked poorly upon.
So it sounds like you reformed both the culture and the religion, right? Because I think the religion...
I also reformed the culture as well, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I control all of Europe and North Africa. I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
So my thought was that I would complete the game by 1453 by controlling everything and then importing my save file into EU4. But the problem is that it's really fucking boring when you when millions and millions of people are under your control, but more importantly, hundreds and thousands of nobles have all converted to Protestantism, and they are constantly being sexually deviant, and thus they get the, when someone discovers it, they get the, this is a bad thing tag. It's shunned but not a crime, and so they have to ask for an indulgence, which costs them 100 gold, which means that every 5 or 6 seconds I'm getting like 3 to 4 offers of indulgence, So it's just constant pop-ups all the time.
That is definitely the big issue with the late game. That's why I sort of advocated playing small, playing tall, initially, because I don't think the game really improves once you, especially if you exceed an empire. Like, then it sort of just becomes a real drag.
Oh, I didn't just succeed in empire. I restored the Roman Empire, which got rid of all of the other European and African empires. They've all been deleted from history now, as if they never existed at all.
Well, I mean, someone could form one in theory.
No, the title, when you form the Roman Empire, the titles are destroyed.
Oh, really? Well, they can remake them.
Maybe, but, you know, I'm happy with them destroyed right now because it means that all the claims people had on my old... You sound very tinny, by the way. Did you change your mic in some way?
I did not. Is this
Well,
better?
it sounds better now, yes.
Okay, I just moved away.
Yeah, you definitely did something.
Yeah, I just moved mic closer.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I mean, so the problem was that in order to become the ruler of that large of an area, I had almost 2,000 people as part of my noble house, all married into my vassals. So my vassals essentially are almost all members of my house, and so they all have claims on all of my empires. So when it remade the Roman Empire, now only the primary line, only me and my children have it, which is better. I wouldn't say it's good. I mean, I prefer to have as few claimants against me as possible without having to resort to disinheriting or denouncing my inheritors, which I've only had to do once in all the games I played. But somebody got real pissy with me, and I was like, well, it's time to show you that Papa don't preach. I don't play these fucking games.
I mean,
yeah, like one of my sons tried to plead a rebellion against me, and then he was shocked that I fucking executed him.
What? How could you?
Yeah, I threw him in prison. He was like, what? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna throw you in prison, and I'm gonna move you into the dungeon so that you'll die. Like, you'll die.
You do know I can make more sons.
Have you heard the story of the Italian noblewoman and I have between my legs the instrument to make more?
I had not heard that quote.
Oh my god. So yeah, so they attacked, I think it might have been Venice or something. I don't remember the exact story, but they were holding like some of her sons hostage and were basically like, you're actually like the biggest pain in our side. Like, you're actively leading the rebellion against us. And she was like on a rooftop or something. And they were like, if you don't come down and surrender right now, we will kill your sons in front of you. And she goes, go ahead. I have between my leg the instrument to make more.
Man, that's so badass. I mean, like, you know, not great, I guess. Not great parenting. But...
I mean, they did kill the sons, just to be clear.
Yeah. I'm not trying to celebrate that.
Yeah, they did actively murder those kids, for sure. Did I not heal Eamon? It feels like he was really low health. Well, anyway. Oh no, I should do it Marvel style. So that happened.
So that happened.
So that happened. I'm really running out of mana, huh?
Hey, I mean, you're so powerful in that game, probably you could just, like, take on the Tyrant label, and it really wouldn't make a difference, like...
So the real big difference this time around compared to the first successful game I had was that rather than... I was pretty tyrannical. My way of enforcing succession changes was when it seemed like I was about to die, I would ask all of my vassals to send me hostages, so that if they tried to rebel against my successor, I would just murder the hostage.
Nice.
And send them into a spiral of depression, which, you know, pissed everybody off. This time, because I made everybody, since I made all my vassals family members, since they married into my family, I got a bonus for being family with them. Like, they didn't want to rebel against family because it looks bad for the AI. And also, I chose the bloodline abilities to encourage loyalty and good opinion among my subjects as a priority after I got the bonus bloodline stuff.
Right.
And then finally, to finish it all off, I intentionally spread my primary culture to most of my big, like, king or like powerful duke level vassals. I made them their home ground English, and while they wouldn't stay English, they would create a hybrid. That hybrid counts as being English. And so since we were the same culture, they were well less inclined to rebel against me. And so when I had achieved that, for the last 2 generations, there were no rebellions on secession, which I feel like that is the real victory, is not losing any claims on secession because you successfully negotiated primogeniture or some other really good form of holding on to all your power. And there's no rebellion. But also I eliminated Catholicism, so everyone's the same religion as me. And I eliminated Magyar and Ibli and all the other African religions, and I got 51 XP. That was pretty sharp, my brother. I haven't seen anyone get 51 XP in quite a while. I'm actually looking forward to taking on some of the more difficult, like, achievement challenges in Crusader Kings 3, because I bought all the DLC, and I have 135 hours, so I feel like I've solidly got my money's back out of buying it while it was heavily on sale. Extremely entertaining game, very fascinating, but I really want to move on to EU4, even though the UI is terrible. It's really bad. I want to continue my original successful game's bloodline, and if I can ever stomach getting indulgence calls every 5 seconds. We lost Connor. I'm talking to myself right now, audience. I'm talking to myself. Let me see if I can find him on Discord. Could be the storm. There's a pretty heavy storm rolling through both our areas.
At least I'm charging my phone now, so I can at least tell you if I'm having a power problem.
Friends, we're back. Connor had a power outage. I was in the middle of talking about some babbling thing. I don't remember.
Crusader Kings.
Crusader, I mean, of course it's Crusader Kings related. I've been playing so much of it. Of course it was Crusader Kings related.
I believe it was regarding the merits of tyranny.
Oh.
The lack of merits in your second playthrough.
I feel like I moved past that at some point, but yes. I made my family forced to like me. In my second successful playthrough. I just don't know if I want to suffer through completing it. Also, let's assume that I do control all or most of the world in EU4. It does expand out Asia, so Crusader Kings 3 ends at just east of India, so I guess EU4 must get all of China and the northern parts of Russia, and then it adds the New World to the west, of course. So at least I'd be able to conquer those things, but I'm worried that if I go in, with a highly successful save file, there won't be anything to do except expand. Like, there'll be no opposition. That, I think, is the most interesting part of Crusader Kings 3, is like the scrabble and scrapping of being in a shitty position and working your way upward out of that.
Correct. Yeah.
And once you've accomplished that, it kind of doesn't feel as good.
It doesn't. Yeah, it really is. It does suffer from that. It also suffers a bit from how fast it is to like make those things happen. So like there should be more forces that sort of destabilize you. Like in Crusader Kings 2, you know, especially once they had all the DLC where, for instance, there were like plagues and like you had to have situations where
don't come talk to me about plagues, all right? Number of smallpoxes in my court where it's like, your grandson has smallpox. I'm like, great, all right, I know what this did last time. Throw that little fucker in prison. And everyone's like, oh my god, what a tyrant, you threw your grandson in prison. I'm like, listen, there's an alternate timeline where your entire family dies. Do not fucking complain to me about throwing this kid in prison. And yet, but let him out just as soon as he's not smallpoxed.
Right. I mean, and yet though, like even the diseases that are in the game are fairly mild compared to how absolute brutal they could be in 2. And
right.
You have to do things like you have to close the gate, like all the people in the town or whatever are dying from the plague, and you have the option to close the gate and just have like just your immediate family members in your court, like in your house, and that would stave off the disease. But like then you would lose all kinds of popularity and taxation and stuff. It was terrible.
Yeah, Connor. It turns out that in the past we had really brutal but efficient ways of dealing with plagues. Right. You know, when people got the plague, if they didn't obey civic authority, we would just leave them to die or actively burn them to death. It's crazy how times have changed. I don't often say the old ways are better, but
but it has its merits, you know.
Hey, I said but, and then I didn't say anything after that. All right.
I'm just finishing the thought here.
That's your own thought. Don't put your words in my mouth. I don't want to be recorded saying certain combinations of words and sentences. Just know, I take mass quarantine events very seriously. I still wear a mask when I go indoors. I don't do it when I pick up drive-through or anything with outdoor air and space between me and the target, but if I have to go inside, it's a mask, motherfucker. I want it. I want that new, because they're saying there's a new outbreak of hyper infectious strain out right now. I want the new vaccine, and yeah, it's all sold out in Delaware, which I think is good. I think it's good that it is, like, everyone has got every single copy of it that they can. But I want it as well. So Monday, I'm supposed to get it now. I was going to get it on Thursday. I had my whole day planned around getting it Thursday morning.
Sounds like you slept on it. Like
I did.
There early.
I didn't sleep on it. They called me Thursday morning and were like, "So your appointment's in 2 hours. We don't have any, and we don't think we will." And I go, "Well."
Okay. And
they said, "Okay, we'll go next. You know, like set an appointment next week. I'll mark you down as a redoer." It's cooked here. It's time for her to retreat. Also out of the MPs. How dare you, Connor? How dare you accuse me of not getting in on it early enough? I signed up the day it was possible.
I knew that would cause some ire.
I am an ironic kind of guy. Ironic.
Yeah, I love it. Also in CK2 you had like basically an entirely garbage mechanic, which was wandering adventures, and these guys could create armies that, like, your massive empire that you have currently it would just sort of double the amount of troops that you had. Because guess what? Like, if you like, it's just like these people just come out of nowhere. But you know what it was useful for was like just like you needed these destabilization events to make the game keep the game engaging. Otherwise, you know, yeah, you just sort of like reign forever. I'm not sure if I even like the fact that in 3 you can sort of completely mitigate all the like the problems of incest and stuff.
That's usually the first thing I do is try to mitigate the incest problems by becoming the blood father as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I mean, of course, because that's a very effective thing to do. But I think it's a little bit powerful.
Okay, my first court was me and my son and a marshal. Sorry, 2 sons and a marshal. And then the dad died within 6 months of the start of the game.
Right.
So half of my positions were empty. The second son stole one of my counties. I was in a real rough position, but because I had completely wiped out all of... because I went for a maximum point build by giving myself all the non-inheritable bad things, I became the Bloodfather, and so all of my children from then on would have good stats and would spread widely because they were fecans, so plus 50% fertility rate. And my religion allowed me to have concubines.
Oh, wow.
I spread it wide, brother. I spread it wide. And at some point in like the 1100s, I mean, it took me a while. It took me a full generation, like 20 years, to get a full court, essentially, of vassals who could, and courtiers who could act as my 5 main court people and a spouse. But once that happened, I then, like, there were people who had like 40 stat in the primary thing they were good at.
Wow.
That makes a really good court. And more importantly, everyone in my family, hundreds of members up to the current timeline of 2,000 members, all of them had courts that were full of 40 stat people. It was just a super effective, well-managed empire. That's what I'm saying, Connor. I'm here to play the game. I'm all about the game and how you play it.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about control and if you can take it. What? I thought I got her out of range. Look how far away she is. That's bullshit. Wow, that downhill advantage is really working for them right now. I'm super pissed. She was so far away.
Tried to play the game.
I mean, I'm clearly going to win this battle.
Yeah.
There's 3 people left, and I have a whole horde of dudes showing up. Origin.
Take that, bugaboo.
Good, Diego. Good. I think it's probably supposed to be bugbear. I'm pretty sure that other word that you're saying is, I don't know if you know this, Connor, but I'm pretty sure that particular word is extremely racially charged.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's, you know, there are certain words that Americans, especially Caucasians Americans, don't use. I'm pretty sure the word you're using is basically a different reference to that same word.
Well, look, I mean, I look up the word, and it's a stroller company. So I don't know if that's how true that might be.
For the folks at home, I grew up in the American South, and this is what people I know referred to others of a darker persuasion.
Really? I've never heard that. I mean, I'm looking it up here.
Don't listen to this Jersey boy. He doesn't know shit.
I mean, it's true.
People would not believe how racist the South is. They literally would not. Like, we could show it on television, and we do. And you guys are like, but that's just television, right? All right, hold on. I have to remember to open my video editing software so I can get both halves of this video together afterwards. Because if I don't do this, I will forget. And then it won't get uploaded correctly.
Mm-hmm. I mean, look, it's really not coming up. I will say that much. But I apologize to any folks that took offense to that word I didn't realize.
There you go. I'm sending to you the etymology of...
You got it?
Yeah, I sent it to you on Discord.
Oh, well, there's another word below that. That's what that word is. Starting with a J. Which is not this B word.
They're both related, just to be clear. They both basically mean the same thing.
I'll take your word for it, yeah. But I think in this thing it says that that's a different word.
It's meant to be a scary thing, I think, but bugbear.
Vandal Hearts. You naughty, naughty game.
It's a different time. It was the 90s. That was my favorite part about Dungeons and Daddies, is they did a flashback to when one of the dads was a kid, and something happened at a pool, and like an adult hit his child, and someone's like, "You can't do that, sir," and the dad's like, "I can. He's my son." And someone nearby, one of the other players, not the GM, has a background NPC go, "He's right. It's the 80s. It's acceptable."
Yeah.
To hit your kids at a public pool.
He's right. I'm going to join in.
Okay. I don't think it was like that, but
I think sometimes. I feel like I have some kind of story, recollection of a story of a complete stranger feeling like it's completely okay to like physically discipline a stranger's child in public. But I can't remember the details of that.
That strange man called you his mentor. Yes, he was my student over 300 years ago. 300 years ago? Just who are you? My true name is Zohar Abu Said. Did you say Zohar Abu Said? Anyone who dabbles in Arcana has heard of Zohar the Aloof. I had forgotten that particular nickname, because I don't get near people very often because I'm quite aloof. As he said, I am no longer as powerful as I once was, due to the shock from the time warp he created. Please continue. Zeno was my best and brightest pupil, but at some point he abandoned his principles in pursuit of power. He dreamed of one day rekindling the flames of judgment. I tried to stop him, but he wouldn't listen and cast a spell on me. During our struggle, a time warp was created and I fell in. But I always knew that we would meet again. I see now. Well, since you've met again, now you don't know the future at all. Zeno is why the Empire wants to rekindle the flames of judgment. It seems a safe assumption. I'm partly responsible for Zeno. I'll stop him or die trying. Save while we've got that shot. And I'm gonna take a sip of some drink over here. Hold on a sec.
What are we sipping today, AP?
The same thing I'm always drinking, ConorHughes. There's only one liquid for me. The tears of my enemies. Or water.
in a pinch?
It's water. It's always water. My doctor tells me I can't drink alcohol with my medicine. So I'm greatly distraught. Alright, I bet we still can't go back here. It'll be like, who's this person we're supposed to? An important merchant named Carlo Lisbon. Carlo Lisbon, we can't trust that guy. What are you talking about, Diego? Carlo has been a big financial supporter of the rebellion. He's trying to win our favor in case we succeed. He's probably just giving as much money to the Empire, I bet. That's definitely a thing people do in modern day politics, just to be clear. Companies will donate the exact same amount to both sides so that they can be on the winning side and get favorable legislation no matter what. Mm-hmm. Where do you get these crazy ideas? I don't know, reality? In any case, let's pay a visit to Carlo's mansion. I'm gonna save again.
Level up at the dojo here. There's some new items in the shop. I think mainly just like life orbs, which I'm guessing is a healing item.
Okay. I don't know that anybody hit 20, unfortunately. Huxley, become an archbishop! Motherfucker got 51 XP and shot past everybody.
Yep.
Those mega heals. Am I behind if I'm not level 20 on the main character here?
No, he's just saying if anyone's level 20, do it now.
Leave the dojo. The dojo. Clear out some of the held items here. Making sure everybody's got a good set, because I definitely use some. Fine. Alright, that's sorted out. The shop. Yeah, we already have all this.
Yeah, I don't think the weapons are new. But there's new
just
items, I think.
ConorHughes.
Yeah.
Life Orb restores all HP and MP. Give that to Ash. No, of course not. I'm gonna do this the hard and long way, which is to go all the way back, remove Ash's herb, and replace it with the Life Orb. A normal person would. Now we have a backup, just in case he's ever about to die. A full heal. This town owes it all to Carlo Lisbon. Maybe he does do some shady deals, but if not for him... Have you seen our precious train? 'Tis a wondrous relic from a dead civilization. Runs all the way to the capital. Jesus, what's going on with these seats? Are they fucking toilet bowls that are covered in gold?
Yeah.
Am I wrong that these are just fucking horrendous looking seats?
They don't look that comfy, I'll give you that. But this is, comfort is not necessarily the idea. It's sort of like elegance and class.
I don't know that sitting on toilet bowls that are uncomfortable is either elegant or classy.
I feel like
well, what do I know? It doesn't make it better. It's still something that goes on the bathroom and not the ballroom.
No.
It's so strange. What could destroy a culture that made something as incredible as trade? Maybe they're still alive somewhere. I collect strange and rare things objects. But it looks like there's nothing in these parts to interest me. Where are the 3 sacred treasures everyone is looking for? They're controlled by the 4 Chinese gods. You know, Suzuka, Genbu, the other 2. You know, you gotta go Turtle, Phoenix, Lion, whatever the 4 are. The 4 heavenly kings.
I'm not familiar with this mythology.
Alright, hold on. Let me go bust out my Chinese referenced anime for you. It's real mythology, just to be clear.
Sure.
There you go. The 4 heavenly kings, or as they're called here, the 4 gods.
Juke.
Suzaku, Byaku, Seru, Genbu. And then the dragon in the middle. Which isn't often included, but his name is... Look, Connor, I'm spitting mostly truth at you. I could be making shit up all the time. I'm a storyteller and a liar, but I don't.
Well, the best lies are told with, you know, the truth.
No, only idiots say that. Let's be really clear, Connor.
They are the most effective.
No, the most effective lies, I assure you, the most effective lies over time are the ones that are completely made up and are so truly incredulous that only by repeating it repeatedly, people will eventually come to believe them.
I'm not sure if it's the best lie. It is an effective method of lying, but...
Connor, what if I told you that blood was thicker than water? You'd say, that's a common phrase. I believe in that one, right? Everyone says it?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I guess...
you know you're being led into a trap by me. I mean, you know that I'm about to destroy that phrase. So, that is the short form of the phrase. The original is, the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb, which is the exact opposite of what the original saying means. So the original saying means friends are more important than family. Like found family, I guess is what we'd call it nowadays, is more important than people who are related to you only by blood. But the saying has been reversed over the years by morons into blood, family, is thicker than water, other people.
Yeah.
But the original phrase is the opposite. It's like when people say, you know, I'm a solo wolf, law of the jungle. Well, in the original poem, the law of the jungle was, yeah, if you could rule over the whole jungle as a solo person, I guess that'd be good enough. But the real truth is the ones who rule over it are wolves who work together. And anyone who doesn't work with the wolves gets eaten by the wolves.
Sure.
So when people say that they're a solo wolf and that they live by the law of the jungle, all I hear is, I'm a fucking moron who's going to get eaten. There are plenty of phrases that have been corrupted from their original meaning to mean actually the exact opposite.
Yeah, sure. But now I think we've exceeded our mandate of talking about lies. You know,
is it though? Because what I'm saying is the best lies are the ones that you say repeatedly, and to the original sayer would have been so incredulous, so insane. Imagine if you went up to the person who, imagine you went up to Rudyard Kipling and you were like, I'm going to make it so that the law of the jungle means the exact opposite. He'd go, no, you fucking idiot. I'm Rudyard Kipling. I'm a world-renowned author. You can't do that. And yet, in the future, here we are. Rudyard Kipling's words mean the exact opposite of what they originally did.
Yeah. I mean, I get your point, but also, you know, this is not what people commonly term lying in the sense that I think, you know,
I could get real political here, but I would also say we have a whole century of mass media that includes if you just repeat a lie enough over and over again, some people will simply accept it as truth. And in the end, you just need to confuse the issue enough.
Right.
Once people are so desensitized and so confused by all the lying that no one cares, you could say anything and make it truth.
Or at least people can't.
Trust me, Connor, I'm a professional liar.
Yeah.
I know about manipulating the truth.
I agree, and it, you know, that's nonetheless.
I'm glad you agree that I'm a professional liar. It doesn't make me feel bad at all.
Why should you feel bad? It's entertainment. I'm a liar too.
What? Name one thing you've lied about.
I lie about that my drawings are meaningful. You know, you are meant to see people when you look at lines on a page.
Connor, people look at your works and go, awooga, and then their eyes pop out of their head and they start thumping their foot on the ground, and then they grow a wolf's tail. All right.
Hey,
I like. Listen, don't get me. No. Don't get me wrong. I like White Ash a lot. I want to see where the storyline goes. I also want to see where the game goes, but you guys have been so frustratingly tantalizing about not releasing any fucking details about the story. So we'll come along and be like, hey, I know exactly what's going on, but I'm not going to explain it to you. Let's have a conversation in a different location about this.
Hey,
but,
all about...
but a huge portion of your story is taken up by plot, and by plot, I mean plot.
Well,
that's what the kids call it when you draw big boobs.
I will say, in our defense, relatively speaking, I think we do put more story than your average modern comic does in each issue. It's just that I'm so darn slow.
Connor,
that's the main problem.
Here's what I'm gonna say. I don't read other modern comics. I read yours. That's it.
Well, thank you.
I don't need other people. Well, I read Order of the Stick as well, which is very, very different from yours. For one thing, it's stick figures.
And you read manga. I mean, you know, which I count as comics, even though. What?
I've been cutting back. Now, manhwa, the Korean version, I have been reading a little of that, but I'm cutting back on my manga. Everything I read nowadays has been driving me crazy. We're in this new age where everything sucks.
Damn.
Listen, we finally made it past everything's an isekai and slavery is legal in all settings, whether it's the space future or the caveman past. That trend was driving me nuts. I was like, oh, great, another slave harem story. Oh, perfect. All right, I'm done. I'm out. Chapter 1, thanks for letting me know. Thank you for coming. Oh, go ahead.
I had not been aware of those kinds of story movements, but...
Oh,
sure,
brother.
Yeah, that'd be kind of...
So, 5 years ago was like the year of the little sister, and then for a while it was like the year of the gal, and then it was basically like the new second wave of isekai for a few years. And now we're in the time of romances, but they actually move forward. So, like, rather than fireworks cutting out somebody saying I love you and then another 20 chapters of that crap, we're at, like, chapter 1, I love you, and now we're dating. Like, full-on confessions, side ships, other people's relationships. It's a big move forward. But I think it's been heavily implied that it's because the current wave of leadership of the Japanese government is desperately worried about their dropping population and fertility numbers, and they are heavily influencing all forms of media to include romance stories and imply that people should get to fucking.
Yeah.
Just to be clear, I didn't say a bad word. I said FAWKING, which is a legitimate slang term according to the dictionary. I would never use inappropriate language.
No, of course not.
I'm gonna start reading this now. Thank you for coming. I'm Carlo Lisbon. Ash Lambert. I've been searching for your lost ring. One of my operatives is about to finalize its purchase. Let's wait here until the deal is concluded. Interesting. So this guy actually is double. I'm gonna do a step ahead thing, Connor, where I try to predict the plot. You ready for this? Mm-hmm. This guy is double dealing with the Empire. He's heard from Ash that they need the ring, and now he's lured Ash and his companions here as a trap. The bad guys are going to show up, get the ring that Ash needs. They don't know why he needs it, maybe, but they know that he does. And then try to capture Ash. And Carlo will be like, oh no, they're taking me hostage. Come save me.
I'm going to say that's not it, but...
Not it? Okay.
Proceed. I forget.
Hey. Wait, is that Diego? Damn. You've come back to succeed me. Huh? Don't be ridiculous. I told you 7 years ago that I have nothing to do with you. My name is Diego Renault now. No, it's Diego Luna. Diego, my son. So his real name isn't Diego. His real name is Diego Lisbon, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So just to be clear, his name is Diego and a famous Spanish city.
Yeah.
Which makes him very Spanish. Hey, I get that naming convention. You gotta have... stereotype naming is easy to lean in on because people understand it instinctively. Even if it sounds weird or stupid, you still are borrowing heavily from the concept. Like when you look at Diego... Maybe you don't know that much about his culture, but knowing that his name is Diego, you immediately are like, he's kind of Spanish.
Yeah. Of course, Lisbon is in Portugal. But
you know, Portugal was just a county of Spain until it, you know.
But nonetheless, it's not in Spain.
The Duchy of Portucales, according to Crusader Kings 3. Portucales. I always think of Portugal as Little Spain anyway. It's crazy to me how Portugal is so physically small and yet once was a master of the seas and legitimately competed in naval combat against Spain, a country much larger that completely surrounded it in every way.
No, it's incredible.
All he ever cared about was money. He ignored Mother and me. 7 years ago, I left here and decided to give up the Lisbon family name. Instead, I made my name the same as my favorite dessert, bonbon. So that's the story. That's how you came known as Diego Bonbon. Huh, Eleni? So this is where you were, Ash. Carlo wants you. Some news about the ring, I think. Wow, the characters are blinking. It makes them seem so alive. And their mouths are moving slightly. It's just like they're VTubers. I've confirmed that it is the royal ring. After the revolution, the ring wound up with a well-known coin collector. I've completed the negotiations with this man. The exchange will be tonight at a warehouse in Old Town. I want you to go and make the exchange. I understand. The warehouse in Old Town. Well, Connor, what does the guide say about my power level?
Well, you're about to get into a fight. Let's see. Where we're at.
Like a big fight?
That doesn't look that big.
All right.
We're gonna stay in town for this fight.
You know, I'm really more of an uptown guy. The hell is this noise? Something's wrong. Where are they? Huh? What kind of warehouse is this? So Connor, this does kind of seem like a trap.
Yeah.
Which I believe is what I mostly said was going to happen earlier.
True. Yeah. Okay.
I just let these guys come at me again. I feel like I keep saying that to my own detriment, but
there is less sense in splitting up. Although those worms, you know, they're a problem because they're range. They're archers.
if I can get as many enemies close as possible, I can just start bombing people with phase shift.
No treasures here. And I think this guy is suggesting first decide which direction the team will move in. Pick a structure where the eggworm is, and move everyone towards that. Then phase shift like it's going out of style. This should kill the nearby golems with ease, 100 damage. Ha! And damage to skeletons enough that a single counterattack could probably take them out. This leaves approximately half the field out of range, and set them up for a huge phase shift in the coming turns. So, that does seem like a sensible argument, but we'll see how this goes.
Oh, Zohar may be dead before he can ever phase shift. That skeleton's gonna come over and finish him off.
It's less than ideal.
Wait, did they just choose not to move? Man, he's still gonna get him. Alright. Yeah, I'm just gonna restart the battle.
Yeah.
I kind of didn't understand that these guys had such long range.
Yeah, it's better to pick a side. And then just, like, have everyone filter into that side.
Oh, political ConorHughes, it's better to pick a side.
Well, in this case, I don't think it's political. I think it's more like strategic.
Alright. Is there some way for me to force a restart of the battle?
Yeah,
there we go.
A map. You're good.
Oh, that sucks. Guess let's just start with the bombers. Diego isn't in range to shoot the worm on this side.
Okay.
He's one step short. Is less than ideal, is one might term. Is Eleni. I'll build a wall. Bridge 4. Alright, Darius, I've asked nothing of you. Excellent. 138 experience points for one shot. Bad, my son. Not bad at all. Locker up in front of you. That actually didn't deal very much damage at all. Alright, let's see if this goes better and we don't lose our top magic attacker instantly. Instead, we're gonna lose Ama, which is fine, I guess.
He's always getting killed. Really, I think admittedly the air guys are just not really cutting it. It's not a good idea.
What the heck? You want to mess with an old man, you whippersnapper? Eat shit! Oh my god, he hit him for 72. Is Huxley the strongest? Alright, let's keep Ash alive. Let's go, Ash. 45 HP. You can take 2 more hits, buddy. You can take 1 more hit, buddy. Kidding, no more hits. You're dead on the next hit.
Oh, okay. I thought that was Ash.
Well, yeah, Dolan's never going to level up at this rate. Despite all his rage, he's still just a rat in a cage.
I think he gets more experience though when he's a lower level from higher level enemies. So I think it'll all work out.
Okay, so I want to actually move down here, catch this healing beam myself. Does Sarah get this? I think so. Perfect. She didn't get it though. Not great. I guess she can heal herself. I think stopping that. Drop some bombs on him, I guess. Word to your moms, I came to drop bombs. I'm wizard. This is just like that real-life documentary, Yu-Gi-Oh! Well, I have to say, This time it's looking a lot easier. It's mostly just going to be chasing down the worms.
Yeah, sticking to one side. Good strategy.
I wanted to believe in the center strat, to draw all of them in and take them out in one wave. But it didn't work, Connor. It didn't work. Despite all of my rage. I'm gonna sneeze. You know, I actually turned my mic off, and then right before I sneezed, my whole body leaned back and my hand came up and bounced the mic back. Oh, my apologies, friends. I'm sorry you weren't supposed to see that.
Really wasn't so bad, actually.
Now, I'm gonna have to eliminate you. I can't let you go to the police with what you know. Know too much. I appreciate you saying my sneezes aren't that bad. I don't believe you, though.
No, trust me. Trust me.
I don't trust you, Connor. I feel like I hardly even know you. Oh my god, I just keep going through cliche lines. I gotta stop. I have to stop. I don't know what's happening to me. I've entered a world of parody.
Heck yeah. What level is Clint?
18.
They're getting there. Hopefully we can get someone else to level 20. The Bowman. He couldn't shoot the worm?
No, the worms are all too far away.
Too far.
We're gonna work on it, though. We're gonna work on it by mad dogging the worm.
Ice storm. Rolling fire.
Here we go. We finally got it. And drop it right on top of him. It won't kill him, probably, but...
No.
Half of its hit points.
Soften him up, though. She could use a little healer herself.
Everybody's acted. Oh no, Darius. Possible. Darius just used his entire life's worth of luck in one hit. Might as well call it an eggworm if it ain't got no egg. You don't want to know. Alright, I'm not sending the archer to go chase after this guy. What I need to do is heal this side of the board.
Ultra healing.
Ultra heal. I need to pin this worm down between two melee guys because with him being uphill, I can't get a shot on him at range, which is what makes this battle really annoying. I'm gonna have to chase him down and beat his ass to death. And it'll be doable. Hey, shit.
Bam.
Wow. Incredible.
Big Dad Golems.
Connor, what are the odds that you are currently inking in a busty female character right now?
You're in about an hour late. I finished that.
Oh, okay.
Now I'm in the background.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say Iris is like busty.
As a wordsmith, then describe her. The ultimate trap. A man having to describe a female character.
Yeah.
Truly.
I'm good.
I appreciate that answer so much. Sarah's gonna get the eggworm.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened, right? Like, how was she in range and the Ash was closer?
He had to move a step further than him, and then a second step because she was farther away than him. But there it is. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Not only is she not weighed down by her armor, she's not weighed down by her sins either. Because she's a monk.
Hello?
No, it's just me.
Okay.
I had
I wasn't sure if I lost power again.
No, it wasn't you. It was me.
Because they had the same sort of sudden turn off.
It's not your fault this time, Connor.
This time.
This time. Oh, I actually didn't think he'd kill it. Yeah. I thought Amon would get to come in and get the finishing blow. That was a little unfortunate, but you can't go wrong with leveling up old, reliable Grog. Right? Good old, reliable Grog. He's always there when you need... Yeah. He's there when you need somebody to get the shit kicked out of them.
I mean, that is a useful sort of set of skills in an army, in a battle.
Well, Connor, when this is done and the post-battle text is over, we'll be calling it. So now's a great time, an opportunity really, to start thinking about your post-session thoughts.
Okay.
So when I ask you for them, you're ready to go.
But just the consideration of post-session thoughts always gives me paralyzing fear. I hate
Great.
conclusions.
Perfect.
Now's the time to deal with this fear.
I'm a game master. My entire purpose in life is to fill my friends' lives with torment and fear. To make their lives worse.
Sessions.
No, that's just in general.
Oh, it's like the...
I actually don't like anybody.
Well, then I guess you can't do that, because you got
My hope...
your friends.
No, I mean, I could call people friends, even if they're really my enemies, like Count de Monte Cristo.
Friends are just plant tools.
Friends. I don't need friends. What I need are tools in order to defeat the darkness inside me. My father told me that unless it could be defeated, the world would end. I gave up friends a long time ago, in 6th grade.
Sounds like Guru from Despicable Me.
As a 10th grader, I have the duty to have no friends so I can save the world.
Just Dolan. Poor Dolan.
Yeah, fuck Dolan. And you know what? All my homies also hate him. Wonder if we were set up. That's right, it's me. Oh, it's the other guy. Oh, I was wrong. Ha! Even you could figure that out. Did you really think it would be so easy? Hey guys, it's me, Zeno, and Carlo. I knew you were a turncoat. Son, you're not cut out for the warrior's life. Come home and take over the family business of treason. The hell I will. Oh, well, this is probably what they call the fires of judgment. Ha ha ha. You're all finished now. There'll be nothing left but blackened and charred bones. Wait a minute, that's not what we agreed to. You said you'd spare my son's life. Silence. Does an eagle bargain with a sparrow? It's an interesting phrase. It's probably not what it was in Japanese, but it implies that does a bird that eats smaller birds bargain with its food?
The scorpion and frog situation.
Nothing, absolutely not like that at all. I wonder what happens if I don't move the cursor forward and I just let this ring get small. Oh, it has achieved maximum smallness. All right.
Yep.
Famous last words, Ash Lambert. So just to be clear, Scorpion and the Frog is a story about the scorpion convincing a frog to swim across a river by promising not to sting him, and then at the last second, halfway across, the scorpion stings the frog anyway, and the frog goes, well, that was stupid, we're both going to die, and the scorpion goes, well, it's in my nature to sting people. It has nothing to do with the other thing I just said.
That he dies.
Yeah, the scorpion also dies.
Right.
But he's ambivalent about it because he knew that he was just going to sting the frog anyway, because that's what he does. Leave them alone. It has nothing to do with the story of the eagle and the sparrow. Connor is confusing stories because they have animals in them, and he's an animal pal now. Because he's a dad, so he automatically has to like all animals that his kid likes. Huh? He interrupted my spell. Yes, the ring of fire disappeared. Too bad. We'll see each other again. Kill him, Diego. Father, speak to me. Oh. He'll be all right. 'Tis a surface wound. Gonna drink here during this break. Where am I? Good. I was getting worried about you. You're the ugliest nurse I've ever seen. See, you're feeling yourself again. Diego, wait. I have to apologize. Dad, you have no idea how poor my family was. My brother died from a cold because we couldn't keep the house warm. Realized that if we only had money, he would still be alive. Ever since then, I've been, as you know me, a heartless merchant. I won't try to stop you anymore. Go, where your dreams take you. Father, we're gonna execute you for treason tomorrow morning. The rebellion is seizing all your assets. Diego, we got a hot tip about the ring. The ring has already been sold to an agent of the Empire. They're taking it back to Shumaria by train, but we can still catch them. Diego, go with him. So wait, earlier they were implying that trains were a mystical thing that only this village has, and that no one could figure out how they worked, and they were, like, this is the pride of the village. And now they're also saying, hey, there's a train and it works. So your magical train, your ancient old train, isn't that rare, and in fact, we're better than you. Confusing storyline. Father, I'll come back. When it's all over, I'll come back. Say well until then. For your trial, traitor. I don't know, Connor. This is confusing.
I think the implication is that someone built the trains, then now they don't really get how they work, but they do make them run. It's kind of like 40K.
See. All right, Connor. I warned you.
You
Closing
did.
thoughts time.
But alas, even with the help of the staircase, I have no wit. I have no
The wit of
closing
the
thoughts.
staircase? I mean, the whole point of the wit of the staircase is you don't think about it until... God, what a callback, though.
Yeah. I watched this movie Ridicule recently. It's a 90s French movie about a guy who has to go to court and is trying to win over the favor of the king so he can build some canals so he can save his village of like from malaria or whatever it is. It was pretty good, and it sort of dealt with these topics. It was pretty fun.
Interesting.
Yeah, but yeah, no particular closing thoughts. I'm excited for next week. Unless you're going to be busy. I think you might be busy next week.
Next Saturday?
Yeah.
Is that the 7th? No, I think it's the 7th. Yeah. Next week I'm good. It's the week after that I'm bad.
All right. Sounds good.
Connor, I'll see you next week. Folks at home, we're like 3/5 of the way through the story, according to Connor. So in another 2/5, we'll have a new game. What is it? I don't remember, but it's not Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, that'd be a bit of an endeavor.
What if I played Final Fantasy 14 while you watched the Big Brother conundrum?
That could work.
No, I'm about halfway through the game. Like, I fully completed 2 whole expansions worth of content. So, you would be jumping in and you'd be like, who are all of these characters? And I'd be like, I don't know any of them except that guy because he's a rich business owner, and that guy because he fucked a dragon.
Well, I mean, surely I could step into the story and have some idea, but yeah. Okay.
We'll see you next week, guys.